One day I was thinking about who I'd like to use in my next Final Fantasy VII challenge, and I got a comment on my Yuffie only challenge run to do a solo run with the other optional party member, Vincent. I thought that sounded like a lot of fun, and I haven't used Vincent that much even on my first playthrough, mostly because of how his limit break worked, so I decided to go ahead with the challenge. The rules for this challenge are as follows. I must use Vincent only, unless impossible, such as when you're escaping Junon with Barret and Cait Sith. I cannot use any summon materia. This is just because they're very good and can honestly cheese a lot of fights, and I wanted to see what Vincent could do. I cannot use the enemy skill materia. This is something I talked about in my Yuffie only challenge, where I did use the enemy skill materia. It was just way too OP, especially Midgar, so I decided to ban it to make this challenge a little tougher, and that's basically all the rules. Now, when I did my Yuffie only run, I waited until I got her naturally to truly begin the challenge, which was shortly after leaving Midgar. This time I wanted to use Vincent the whole game, especially because he joins even later than Yuffie. Thankfully, we have the technology. Using a tool called Ultima, we can edit pretty much anything, but this is where I immediately ran into trouble. Because Vincent and Sephiroth share a slot in the game's code. Remember that time Sephiroth is in your party during a flashback? And to be honest, I don't really know why they share a spot in the code, but it made trying to just add Vincent to the party nearly impossible. I struggled for quite a while doing this. Luckily, the Ultima tool lets you mess with a bunch of flags and teleport anywhere in the game. I tried just adding the basement key to my inventory and trying to unlock the door in the basement, but to no avail. I realized I had to defeat Lost Number first. I used the Ultima tool to teleport to Nibelheim, go into the mansion, and then open the safe. I don't know if he would have been killable, but luckily Ultima just had an instant win button. Is that cheating? Maybe. But also, this was the only way to get Vincent at this point, probably. I then recruit Vincent, and he joins my party. And then reset some flags and teleport back to the first reactor. A struggle that took me about 50 minutes to figure out, but it was worth it. Another nice thing about the Ultima tool is it lets you set the party member's health, so I was able to instantly set Cloud and Barret's health to 0 without going through the trouble of killing them in a battle, though I only realized this later and go into a battle to kill them. Ultima also lets you have access to the PHS and save anywhere, which I may or may not abuse. Maybe being able to save anywhere made the challenge a little easier. Personally, I think it just made it a little less tedious, and I only use it when I really feel like I needed to. You'll see, and you can be the judge. That said, I'm not opposed to banning the idea of being able to save anywhere in the future. Either way, with that, we take on the first boss of the game, Guard Scorpion. We make sure to heal up and fire away until we get Vincent's limit break, and he uses Beast Flare to deal a big amount of damage, killing the boss. We make our escape, and using the speed up that comes with the 7th Heaven launcher, as well as the auto battle function, I accidentally enter a battle with this Shinra soldier, and Cloud was back to life and got a kill. Run invalidated? Oh well. We move on and I set Cloud's health to 0. After a ton of cutscenes, I put Vincent in my party, and we make our way to the second reactor. But Barret snuck back into my party, and Cloud and Tifa were healthy once again, and I had to put Vincent in my party yet again. This happens quite a lot, actually. Once we get out of Midgar, it doesn't become a problem, since that's when Barret gives you the PHS, but until then, the game will try to set your party for you at certain points in the game, and it was a bit frustrating going through Midgar and having to constantly use the Ultima tool to put Vincent in the party, especially when I didn't expect it to happen. We make it through the second reactor, set the bomb, press the button, and arrive at the airbuster. Much to my shock, the airbuster scene forces Tifa into our party. I try to fight on, but Cloud and Barret being dead at the start was not helpful. I try again, and discover a problem with 7th Heaven. The mod allows you to reset the game by clicking Ctrl R, and what it does is just take you to the game over screen. But if you click this command as your party wipes, whenever you go into battle next, the screen fades to black, and you have to close the game entirely and reopen it. I had no idea what was causing this at this point, but eventually I reopen the game and we fight the airbuster. It's a bit sad that we can't force Vincent into this fight, but oh well. We kill the airbuster and move forward. This and one other boss a bit later in the Midgar section are the only bosses we were unable to force Vincent to battle. We meet Aerith, and I forced her to battle to lower her affection, as I wish to date Tifa this time. My last 2 FF7 challenges saw me dating Aerith and Yuffie, so I decided to go for Tifa since I hadn't seen it yet. Even though Cloud x Tifa is the only correct ship, don't at me. Outside of the church, we put Vincent back in our party, kill Cloud and Aerith, and continue on to Aerith's house. Vincent is quite powerful at this point in the game, especially his limit break, and handles enemies quite well. We head to Wall Market and make Cloud into a beauty, and fight Apps. Weird interaction here, I talk to Tifa, then put Vincent in my party, and then talk to Aerith, and the fight starts and we kill Apps as normal. But once the fight ends, because Aerith isn't in our party, she repeats the same line and the fight starts again. I don't want Vincent to get more experience than normal, so I do a reset, and then what I do is do the fight normally, swap Aerith and Tifa in my party, and set the experience gain to 0, and then kill Apps again. We gain no experience, and now our progress isn't blocked anymore, and we move on. After setting the XP gain back to normal, of course. We make our way through the sewers, and then the train yard, and face off against Reno. He instantly puts Vincent in a pyramid, making us lose instantly. Okay, I see how it is, asshole. He does it again, and then I fight enemies until Vincent gets his limit break, and I unleash it immediately. One beast flare and a berserk dance later, Reno is defeated and makes his escape. We escape the falling plate, Barrett mourns his friends, and we once again head back to Aerith's house. Several scenes later, we head back to Wall Market and ascend the wall. Another beautiful problem with having Vincent in our party arrives during this scene. Tifa goes back into our party, but Barrett doesn't, since he's not in our party, and this causes him to stand there, shaking his fist angrily, while Cloud is frozen in place. We simply reload, climb the wall again, this time with Barrett in our party, and then put Vincent in our party after this scene. We storm the Shinra HQ and decide to take the elevator ride and run into another problem. Turns out that going in the elevator put Barrett in our party over Vincent, so we have to reset, and this time, when we take the elevator, before pressing the button, I use the ultimate tool to put Vincent back in my party, and we continue as normal. We immediately run into another problem. This scene on the elevator requires Barrett, and for some goddamn reason, even though he came out of Cloud's pocket on the other elevator, he decided not to come out this time and softlock the game. So once again, we reset and put Vincent in our party on the first elevator, then swap him out for Barrett on the next elevator to progress the cutscene, before once again swapping in Vincent. We progressed through the rest of the Shinra HQ as normal. Not much of note happened, and Vincent didn't really struggle to kill any enemies. This cutscene puts Barrett back in our party, and we swap him out for Vincent right away before heading up the elevator to confront Hojo. Unfortunately, we're locked in place in this scene without Barrett being there to progress it, and we have to have him in the party. There's no opportunity to open the menu to swap Vincent back in between this cutscene starting and the boss fight, so Cloud, Red 13, and Barrett have to take down this boss, and then we swap Vincent back into our party right after. We move on and get captured by the Turks and then spam the ever-living hell out of this option to increase our affection points with Tifa. How nice of Tifa to still like Cloud even though he's standing there saying the same thing over and over again, like he's lost his damn mind. Anyway, we progress through this area as normal until we reach the fight in the elevator. We're able to swap Vincent into the party before the fight begins and we take it on. It's not very difficult, but the two bosses have quite a bit of health. Even with spamming lightning, they take a few minutes to kill. Afterwards, we do the fight against Rufus, and I thought I wasn't going to be able to use Vincent for this one, but much to my pleasant surprise, I was able to swap him in with no issues, and I used Vincent's limit break, which cooks the hell out of Rufus, making for the fastest battle I've ever had against him. We make our escape, and I'm able to put Vincent into my party with no issues before the bike chase, and I make sure to move him to the front row since Motorball attacks from the back. This lets Vincent be in the back row, and he takes surprisingly little damage. Motorball isn't too tough, and we take him down. Finally, we've escaped Midgar, and my troubles with having to swap Vincent in and out constantly are resolved. We had to calm, and thank God for the 7th Heaven mod allowing me to speed up this section of the game. Story-wise, it's one of my favorite parts of the game, but when replaying the game, this part can feel like a drag because you're just mashing through text boxes for most of it. One funny thing about this is because Vincent and Sephiroth share a spot in the code, as I said earlier, since we already have Vincent, Sephiroth's stats get all messed up and he doesn't even appear in this battle, causing us to instantly lose and get a game over. I guess the game didn't expect this to be possible, and even though we get a game over, the cutscenes proceed as normal, and Cloud talks about how crazy strong Sephiroth is. Anyway, we get to the end of the comm section and continue on. Ever since I discovered the method for avoiding the Midgar Zolom, I no longer waste my time catching a chocobo and instead just run through here, bouncing the Midgar Zolom off this wall and then running to the entrance of the Mithril Mines. Make our way through here and decide to recruit Yuffie. I didn't really need to, much like how I didn't need to recruit Vincent during my Yuffie only run, but I like having a full party and so I decided to recruit Yuffie. The enemies in this forest are insanely strong and we actually die to them once. Thankfully it doesn't take too long to find Yuffie and we continue on to Junon. After some scenes we fight Bottom as well. He can't bubble you if you only have one party member alive thankfully, and he seems to kind of not do much at all most of the time, making for a pretty easy solo fight. After some more scenes including the strange as hell resuscitation minigame, we hop on up to Junon proper and partake in the parade. I purposefully get between 60 and 90 points during this section to get the HP plus materia. 100 or more points gets you a weapon for Cloud, which is obviously not much use to us. We take the boat ride, watch some more scenes, and fight JENOVA. This might be my favorite song in the whole game. Anyway, we attack a few times and then I decide to see if Vincent can kick JENOVA's ass with his limit break. By this point we had swapped over to Vincent's level 2 limit break. I think I also had his level 3 limit break around this time, but I never found it to be much use because one of its attacks just puts a bunch of debuffs on whoever it hits. Cool idea, but not very useful. especially on bosses who are immune to debuffs. Luckily, Vincent is quite a tough cookie, and even getting stopped by JENOVA a few times, he managed to take her down with no issues. Also, since he attacks all on his own, I can use the speed up function on 7th Heaven to go through these fights at lightning speed. Quite handy. With that, we arrive in Costa del Sol, grab some goodies, and begin to make our way to Mount Corel. We make our way through the railroad and get stoned. I run away from this encounter every subsequent time. I try to take the Phoenix Downs from these chickens for some goddamn reason. It's not like I need them, and my greed sickens the mama chicken, and we once again get stoned and game over. My just desserts, I suppose. We steal some ride arms from the bombs on the bridge, which will be using a great effect very soon. These simply do big explosive damage to whatever enemy you use it on. We go to North Corel, see these a-holes bullying the beautiful Barrett, and move on to the Gold Saucer. Obviously, we choose to hang out with Tifa and meet the dastardly Kate Sith, get wrongly accused of crimes, and sent to Corel prison. After seeing Barrett's backstory, we get lost in the desert, fight a big snake, and finally remember how to get to Dyne. After an intense scene, Barrett fights his old friend Dyne, and here's where the right arms we collected come in handy. We literally throw just one and instantly win this fight, which would be a little difficult with our underleveled Barrett. After watching a scene that brings a tear to my eye every time I see it, we do the Chocobo race, and I barely managed to get first place on my first attempt. Phew! We head to Gongaga. I didn't really need to, but I wanted some extra experience from the Turks, as well as a nice materia. I attempt to poison Reno and Rude, to no avail, and after taking a big hit, I use Vincent's limit break, and he handles the rest quite well. I fight an annoying-ass frog, and then pick up the Death Blow materia, which gives us a guaranteed crit, but at the cost of a lower hit rate. There are a few weapons in the game with a massive hit chance that synergize quite well with this materia. Either way, with that we head to Cosmo Canyon. After some scenes with Bugenhagen, we go to the campfire, and Vincent decides to break this scene and make us unable to talk to Tifa and Aerith. Luckily, we can just leave the campfire and walk back in to fix it. We head to the Cave of the Gi and make our way through it. The enemies here are quite dangerous. Luckily, these snake fiends are weak to ice and we can defeat them with ease. We then fight the spider fiends, and of course it decides to use Rabbit Gouge immediately after making my health low, and he kills me. The last save point is before the Cave of the Gi, so we have to go through it all again. This is one of those times where I use the Ultima tool to be able to save anywhere and save right before the spider fight. Is it cheating? Maybe. Did it save me some headache? Yes. So, you know. I think it was fine to use it here. Perhaps it was a good thing too because we died to the spider again. Afterwards though, I kill all 3 spiders with no more deaths because I'm truly a god gamer. Or maybe I just got lucky. Anyway, time for the boss fight. As usual, we throw an X potion and defeat the boss instantly because this boss is undead. Very nice. We watch Red 13's scene on hyper speed. This is actually one of my favorite scenes in the game. Afterwards, we move on to Nibelheim. Since we already have Vincent, we skip the mansion and miss out on valuable experience for Vincent. Perhaps you could consider the lost XP as payment for me using the instant win button on Lost Number earlier in the run. We make our way through Mount Nibel, fighting some tough enemies and looking around for a weapon that's here for Vincent. After getting lost, we finally find it, and as you can see, it has 255 attack percent, meaning that this is one of those rare weapons that pairs very well with the Death Blow materia we picked up earlier. I put the Elemental materia and the Lightning materia on Vincent's armor in order to take less damage from the Materia Keeper's Trine spell and take him on. After a few attacks, I use Vincent's limit break and see if he can defeat the Materia Keeper, but it turns out, well, he can't. Damn it. Vincent's limit break is very cool, but it's a little hard to use on a solo challenge. Oh well. Instead, we simply poison the Materia Keeper, which actually goes a long way in helping defeat him, and use Death Blow to do big hits to him. Of course, we also keep our health up with Cure whenever necessary. This method was very handy, and the Materia Keeper goes down. We pick up the excellent counterattack materia and move on to Rocket Town. Vincent has a pretty nice weapon in the store, but I decided to keep the Sniper CR for the ability to use it with Death Blow. We chat with Sid, watch some scenes, and take on this stupid ugly son of a bitch Palmer. Look at the way he dances, taunting me. He's so goddamn hot. I mean, he's so goddamn disgusting. Anyway, we defeat him with ease and he gets hit by a truck. Why is this truck even here? Where did it go? Who cares? Because it was hilarious. We obtain the Tiny Bronco, and this is usually when I would head to Wutai, but I didn't really feel like there was any reason to whatsoever. I don't think there's any item that can help Vincent there, so I decided to skip it this time to save some time. We head to Bone Village and buy the Rune armlet. This armor is the best armor that has double AP growth on it, so we wear it for most of the game from this point on, only swapping it out near the end when there's not enough encounters left to level up our materia. We continue the story and head back to the Gold Saucer to grab the Keystone. Cloud has 0 health and instantly loses this battle. Dio seems unbothered though and hands us the Keystone anyway. We of course get the date with Tifa and watch the cutest gondola ride of them all. We witness Kate Sith's dastardly betrayal and head to the Temple of the Ancients. I almost don't fuck up on the rolling boulders, grab the ribbon, and face off against the Red Dragon. Wearing the Fire Ring, we become immune to his fire attacks, we poison him, him, keep our health up, and take him down. And now for a fresh taste of hell, the Demon's Gate. We equip the Dragon Armlet for its better defense. We collected a good amount of right arms earlier, so we throw a bunch of them at the Demon's Gate for big damage. Unfortunately, the Demon's Gate is a big meanie and decides to drop several rocks on Vincent's head in a row before I have a chance to heal. And I even use a tranquilizer on Vincent to give him sadness, which reduces damage he takes by 30%. We die over and over again. I finally remember that I need to equip the ribbon, and finally we get some good luck. Hit him with all our right arms, and then use Vincent's limit break and pray he uses live wire to deal huge damage. And our prayers are answered and he finally goes down. Afterward, we watch some story scenes. Cloud is freaking depressed. We grab the lunar harp, grab the water ring, head through the Forgotten City, and watch Aerith die. Well, I actually skipped the cutscene since I've seen it so many times. Boo! Hey, come on, okay, I'll admit I only skipped it because it fills my eyes with tears every time I watch it, okay? Are you happy? Anyway, the water ring makes us literally invincible to this JENOVA, and we shoot it to death. Vincent doesn't say anything about Aerith being dead because he doesn't care, or maybe he is bottling up his emotions. Come on, Vincent, let it out, buddy. Disc 1 complete, we begin Disc 2. We head through these caves, head to Icicle Inn, and buy Vincent a new weapon, because it has so many materia slots, and we collected quite a lot of handy materia to level up, such as Comet. After some scenes, we begin the snowboarding minigame. I think this was my fastest time if I'm not mistaken. We head to this cave with an elixir inside. Did you know you can grab the elixir, and if you don't close the text box, you can leave the cave, re-enter it, and get another one? Indeed, you can get as many elixirs as you want. Unfortunately, I enter an encounter unprepared and die. Perhaps karma for my greed. We have to snowboard again, and I somehow get a faster time, and we head back to the cave. My greed truly knows no bounds, but come on. We're doing a challenge here. I gotta take advantage of this while I can, especially considering Sephiroth has multiple attacks that will reduce our health to extremely low. Anyway, we only grab like 10 or so and head through the snowy lands and actually make it to the cabin without passing out. We rest up, save, and start climbing the Gaia's Cliff. We head through the cave, defeating many enemies along the way, dropping the icicles, grabbing some goodies, and then facing off against the boss of the area. We equip the Aurora Armlet, which lets us drain cold attacks, and the Fire Ring, nullifying fire attacks. We also give Vincent Sadness to reduce damage from the lightning attack when each head dies, and reduce damage from the earth attack, which thankfully doesn't happen often. I would have used Vincent's limit break, but we were so invincible that it didn't charge up by the time we killed both heads. Anyway, we climb into the crater, fight a big son of a bitch, and make our way through the gusty winds. This JENOVA only does fire attacks, so the Fire Ring once again comes in handy. Man, that guy in Costa del Sol that just let us take it from his room sure is a cool cucumber. Anyway, JENOVA goes down with ease, and we watch some important story scenes where Sephiroth reveals that it was Zack who was in Nibelheim. Cloud, of course, loses his sanity and sense of self, and gives Sephiroth's true body the black materia. We wake up with Tifa and Barrett. Tifa gets locked up, Barrett and Kate sit to beat up some fools. We get Yuffie as well, and beat up some fools. And then we help Tifa escape her binds, and we make our escape. One slapping competition later, and even though I was spamming the hell out of the button, we lose? Come on now, what am I supposed to do? Time it? Ain't nobody got time for that. Either way, we escape on the high wind, and with the high wind, we can do something very interesting indeed. The spot where we usually need a blue, black, or gold chocobo in order to get quadra materia, we can perform a really cool little glitch. I actually only discovered this while looking up areas to go after getting the high wind, and I was wondering if I could get Vincent a new weapon. This was my first time performing the glitch, and it was rather easy. Basically, you go over here, face this way, hold triangle or whatever button lets you move the high wind around without turning it, and try to land. Then maneuver the high wind right off of the cliff, and you'll end up down here if you do it right. You can then just boogie on over here to the Quadra Materia cave with Tifa, grab it, and get back in the high wind. It's actually not that difficult. I head over to Costa del Sol and grab the Long Barrel R, which has a bunch of materia slots as well as 255 attack percent, which lets us use the Death Blow materia with little or no issue. We head over to Midgar, watch some scenes, Tifa leaves the party, and now it's time to collect the huge materia. First stop, Mount Corel. This battle is a very close one. These enemies have a lot of health and we simply aren't doing that much damage, even with magic and even with Death Blow. This big son of a bitch actually kills us, and I spend some time adjusting my materia, as well as heading over to Junon real quick to grab a different weapon for Vincent. This one has less materia slots, but has double materia growth, which is very nice. We used Quadra materia combined with Comet, and it was a little disappointing, and I didn't have enough slots for Cure materia, so in the middle of the train ride I adjust my materia again, putting lightning on Quadra materia, as this next enemy is weak to lightning, as well as adding Restore materia so I can heal, and then we spam Bolt 2 on this guy until he dies. Then we kill the last guy, and with a minute to spare we stop the train, get the huge materia, the ultimate materia, and head over to Fort Condor to get the next one. Hot tip, it's much easier to not play this minigame and instead let an enemy reach you, kill them, and then obtain the huge materia. We head back to Midgar and the dastardly ultimate weapon comes to play. He kills us. Somehow the next time it's much easier, and with only 2 counterattacks and 2 Gigadunks, he flies away. Okay, see you never, asshole. This section of the game is one of my favorites, Tifa helping Cloud regain his identity, and oh look, he was there. Screw you, Sephiroth, you were being mean to Cloud earlier. Anyway, this section is a little long, but the speed up function on 7th Heaven lets us go through it quickly. With Cloud back in action, we head to the underwater reactor. Oh no. Oh god, no, please, no! If you watched my Yuffie only run, you'll know what prick is coming up soon. Carry armor. Fuck this boss so much. The despicable, dastardly killer of solo challenge runs. I hate him because guess what this prick can do? Grab you and make you game over. Oh boy, he could do it almost never or do it literally immediately. Thankfully, using the Ultima tool, we can save right before him so we don't have to boogie back over every time we die. And trust me, we will die. After dying over and over and over and over and over and over again, I grind up my limit break so it's ready to go, and this almost worked a few times. If Death Gygus used Livewire more often than not, we could destroy the arms, but also Lapis Laser could easily kill our asses. After dying multiple times once again, I decide to grind up some materias. I unlock the Barrier spell and Comet 2, and once again fight Carry Armor. We then die again and again and again. I think I might be losing it. And finally we go grind to unlock the Ultima spell. This hits every target, which is very handy. With a bit of luck, after dying even more times, we finally manage to take him down. We cast Ultima paired with Quadra Magic, which we don't have leveled up, so it does half damage for 4 hits, effectively 2 casts of Ultima. We then decide to get a second cast of Ultima off before then using Limit Break, where thankfully Vincent uses Live Wire immediately, destroying both of Carry Armor's arms. Vincent then pummels this little shit to death, and with our health looking scarily low due to multiple Lapis Lasers, Vincent uses Live Wire one last time to defeat Carry Armor. Oh my god, that was torture. This took literally an hour and a half to do, but it's over. Thank God it's over. We get in the sub, do the hilariously easy sub minigame, view the mandatory cutscene, grab the huge materia from the sunken submarine, and collect Vincent's ultimate weapon and final limit break. Vincent's ultimate weapon does more damage the more enemies Vincent has killed. I thought it would be crazy strong because we've been using Vincent since the beginning, but it barely does over 1,000 damage. Kinda sad. His limit break is pretty cool. It does good multi-target damage, but it's also not exactly game-breaking. It really makes me reconsider what I said at the beginning of the Yuffie solo video when I said she wasn't the strongest in the game. Yeah, maybe Cloud is stronger than her, but I think Yuffie might be the hyper-powerful, at least compared to Vincent. Her limit breaks were stronger, her ultimate weapon is one of the best in the game as it scales to the enemy's level, regardless of Yuffie's level. Here's an idea. After I do a solo challenge with every character, which is something I plan to do, I'll let you know which character I find the strongest and weakest for solo challenges, but as it stands now, Yuffie is better than Vincent for this particular challenge. Either way, that doesn't matter. We enter the sunken plane, die horrendously, then collect the powerful double cut materia. This lets Vincent attack twice, which is very nice. We take on the Turks, poison them, and then kill them. For some goddamn reason, Rude literally never attacks Vincent. Is there a lore reason for this? Is this a bug? I have no idea why this happened, as the next time I face him, which is soon, he attacks Vincent. Is it because I stole the Zydric from him in this battle? Who knows? By the way, the Zydric, very good armor. At this point in the game, I feel like there's not enough battles left to level up any worthwhile materia, so we equip Vincent's ultimate weapon, Death Penalty, the Zydric, and the ribbon of course. We grab the Key of the Ancients and head to Rocket Town. Another battle against Rude later, we watch some scenes, grab the huge materia, and we head to the Forgotten City. We watch some more scenes, and now it's time to face the Diamond Weapon. I literally forget that he is immune to physical attacks and reset the game. I face him again, and here's a hot tip. Don't skip the FMV where he's walking around in the background, as you'll be soft locked. Hooray! We reset, kill him again. By this point we had regen, which is very nice, so we cast that and spam Bolt 2 on him. After we kill him, again, it's time to infiltrate Midgar. Another battle against the Turks, we just have to defeat one of them, so we just focus fire Elena and defeat them without too much trouble. Time to fight the Proud Claude. We shoot the chest armor for the bonus EXP and keep regen on ourselves. I, of course, forget and don't notice that this sick bastard casts Reflect on us. We end up putting regen on the chest armor, but I don't sweat it. I just keep shooting it, and eventually it dies. I wonder if Reflect wore off and decided to test it, of course, by casting regen. And we put regen on the Proud Claude. This annoys me greatly, seeing this stupid prick glow orange. That should have been my orange. Whatever, we just shoot it, use potions to heal, and after getting sick of shooting this idiot, I cast Limit Break and use Speed Up, and it goes down. Bye bye, Heidegger and Scarlet, you stinky buttheads. time for Hojo. I thought he wouldn't be too hard, and really he wasn't. We just shoot him and he dies. During his last phase when he does the multi-hit, we'll often counterattack him, and it's pretty awesome. Tifa and Cloud have sex, and Sid was watching, and then Disc 2 is over. Time for the finale. We head through the northern cave, and the enemies here aren't too troublesome until we meet our best friend Gargoyle, who instantly kills us. Okay, thank you. We set up a save point and head through the caves. We make everyone run in specific directions in order for Tifa to give us the Mistile, which may be the best armor in the game. This has less defense than the Zydric, but it has incredible defense percent and defense percent, which basically is dodge chance, so a lot of attacks will miss Vincent. We set up our materia. I put magic counter paired with Ultima, counter paired with death blow, plus we have counter attack. All three of these can trigger independently, so if we get very lucky, we will counter with all three after being hit. We take down some scary enemies and do the final JENOVA fight. This song is absolutely sick. It's so satisfying to watch multiple counter attacks. Also, death blow seems to never miss when paired with the counter materia. Very nice. Getting a cast of Ultima as a counter attack is also very satisfying. It does do more damage than double cut, but it costs hella MP, so we just save it for the counter attacks and use double cut. Keeping Vincent's health up, we enter the stage of the battle where JENOVA starts doing a countdown. We don't manage to kill her, and she casts Ultima. Uh-oh. I was a little scared here, but check this out. It missed. I was ecstatic. With that, the battle ends and we move on to Bizarro Sephiroth. A quick cast of Ultima from a counterattack takes out both arms, exposing the core. We begin attacking the core, but the arms get revived before it dies. With a quick cast of Ultima, they go back down, and I use Vincent's Limit Break. It's quite powerful as it hits multiple targets, and the core goes down, and shortly after, so too does Bizarro Sephiroth. Now for the real shit, safer Sephiroth. Thankfully, Shadow Flare misses, and I try to use a tranquilizer on Vincent, forgetting that he's wearing the freaking ribbon. It was late at night, cut me some slack. This battle was intense. We keep regen on Vincent at all times, as well as haste. I have a good stock of X potions and elixirs, so when Sephiroth does Supernova, ready to heal back up. I play it very safe, only attacking when Sephiroth changes position or when he casts a low damage spell, or he misses. He likes to dispel us sometimes, which is fine by me. I recast haste and regen whenever this happens. I don't want to use my limit break because I really want to be able to heal, and thanks to 7th Heaven, where you can enable auto attack, which uses our double cut materia and we don't have to use the limit break. Is there a way to attack without using the limit break normally? I don't know. Probably. Also, at one point we get the fabled triple counter attack where we do the normal counter attack, the death blow paired with counter, and the Ultima paired with magic counter all in a row. It was satisfying as hell. Whenever we need MP and health, I use an elixir, but if we're good on MP, I use an X potion, and boy, I needed to use them quite often. I actually only used Heartless Angel once, but I saw Supernova 6 times. That's right, 6 times. If that doesn't tell you how tough and long this fight was, then nothing will, because the most I've ever seen is 2. This was a 17-minute long fight, and I sped up the Supernova animation, believe you me. When Vincent got that last shot off and the ATB gauge paused, and then it zoomed in on Sephiroth, I was so damn happy. Sephiroth defeated once again. After some scenes, Cloud gets the final hit on him, still using the Buster Sword. Wow, look at that enormous damage. And the run is complete. Overall, I'd say I had more fun doing the other 2 challenge runs, but this was enjoyable in its own way. Vincent wasn't overpowered, I didn't use any overpowered summons, and I didn't use any overpowered enemy skills. This meant that those 17 minutes I fought Safer Sephiroth had me on the edge of my seat. It's a feeling you don't get that often, but the satisfaction of beating the challenge was immense. I recommend anyone doing a similar challenge, it's a lot of fun. Except for carry armor. Fuck carry armor. I want to 3D print a carry armor and dump it in lava. Anyway, thank you for watching this Final Fantasy VII challenge run. I know I said I was planning on doing a Fire Emblem Conquest challenge run, but it was, well, simply put, it was too painful, and I felt my soul leaving my body redoing turns over and over again to try to get through some of those tough-ass maps, so that idea was kind of scrapped. I definitely want to do something with Fire Emblem eventually, but I have to think of a challenge that won't scramble my brain into dust. Maybe something just kind of funny or goofy, something that would be entertaining but not really that difficult. I don't know, maybe I'll think of something. But for my next video, I'm going to be doing a Final Fantasy V challenge, which I mentioned back when I did my Final Fantasy I challenge, and said it would be next, but here we are playing Final Fantasy VII again. This game is just too damn good. I've seen a guy on Twitter, a young man, going through the game for the first time, and he's been really enjoying it, which makes me smile. I myself only beat this game for the first time last year, and it really saddens me how some people responded to that young lad and called him a tourist or told him to stay away from their game. Bitch, you didn't make the game, it ain't your game. It's Square's game, and I for one am extremely happy whenever young people get into my favorite old games. Why are we trying to gatekeep? Anyway, that was a sudden tangent, sorry about that. Thanks for watching. Final Fantasy V challenge next. Hope you look forward to it, and I'll see you again soon. Goodbye. Man, that guy named Costa del Sol that just let us take it from his room sure is a cute cucumber.